On this edition of the Cronkite Sports Report, how Phoenix Mercury star Kalia Copper is changing the game as the team's leading scorer.
People see this, like y'all see this, y'all see game winners, y'all see that, but like y'all don't see like what it takes.
Plus, a look at one of the most impactful members for ASU golf, and he's not even on the team.
We want you with us. We want you in the van. We want you, the guys are like, I get to room with Gelman and at the meals because he just brings that awesome energy.
And how one ASU student is making a difference in athletes' lives in a way you wouldn't expect.
There was a trend going along on YouTube and I saw it and I was like, I really want to try this. I think it's going to be fun. And I did, and I found out I have a knack for it.
Good evening and welcome to Gamechangers, a special edition of Cronkite Sports. I'm Kalia Copper and thank you for joining us. The Phoenix Mercury's Kalia Copper is off to a hot start in her first season with the team. She's third in the WNBA in points per game and recently earned her first trip to the Olympic Games in Paris this summer. Our Jack Bartlett shares more on the impact Copper is having on the Mercury this season.
In Kalia Copper's 9th season in the WNBA and first in Phoenix, she's been blessed with a supportive staff within the Mercury organization. She leads the team with a career-high 22.6 points per night and credits getting to play alongside and observe the habits of some of the league's greats as part of the reason she's playing at such a high level.
Being with BG and DT, who have done it before, I see the work that they put in every day that nobody else sees. I see that they're the first people here to get the work in, and I understand that I have to take care of my body. I have to also, sharpen my skills, but to be able to see them be the ultimate professionals definitely is helping me.
In addition to career highs in points and minutes this season, Copper earned a spot on the USA national team and punches a ticket to her first Olympic Games this summer. After starting her professional career as a bench and role player, Copper says it is so rewarding for all her hard work to pay off.
Just for my process and like people see this, like y'all see this, y'all see game winners, y'all see that, but like y'all don't see like what it takes, how many nights, like you want to you prepare so long for this, but for it to happen for me in year 9, it's so special.
The selfless nature of her teammates has enabled Copper to show up in big-time situations, including a 3-point game winner against the Minnesota Lynx.
I actually drew up the play for DT, and after I drew it up, DT's like, no, let's run it for Cobb. And so, what we're trying to build here, the type of people, the selflessness, what we want to be about, it doesn't matter who. I'd give a ton of credit, obviously, to DT for, there's a lot of people that would have been thinking, I want that moment. And, she's had a ton of those. She felt like Ka had it going, and, Ka just stepped up once again. I mean, that was a big time shot.
Copper added much needed depth to the Mercury's roster this season, which has the team hopeful for a championship this year. With an 8-8 record, the Mercury are 1 win away from matching its season total in wins from a season ago and sit in 6th place in the WNBA. In Phoenix, Jack Bartlett, Cronkite News.
To start the month of July, the Mercury are hovering around the 500 mark. Another basketball player in the Valley is also making an impact. Former ASU Sun Devil guard Danielle Orsillo Devine was an integral part of Arizona State's women's basketball Elite 8 runs. Now she's doing the important things off the court, advocating for abused children. Cronkite News reporter Sam Valenti has more.
As a basketball player, it's one thing to make an impact on the court, but for Danielle Orsillo Devine, making an impact off the court was just as important. The former Sun Devil guard made community service a priority during her playing career.
For a lot of the community service that I did in college, I was volunteering at a recreation center for adults with special needs, and it was awesome. I had a lot of friends. They would come to the games, and yeah, I just was very active off court.
Charlie Turner Thorne was the head coach of ASU women's basketball during Orsillo Divine's career, and off-court initiatives were integral to the program.
You do community service in our program. You give back. I mean, we structure that year round. So, but Danielle was exceptional, and she was always, I remember at times like, hey, is there some, like she would maybe ask for even more than we would set up for them.
Serving others has been an important part of Orsillo Divine's life, and that mission has continued with her work at the Center for the Rights of Abused Children in Phoenix. The center aims to protect abused children and be a pro bono lifeline for them.
We're not just making an impact like on a small level, but we're making a huge impact. Every reform we pass, every law we pass for these kids is affecting thousands of kids, and it's helping.
Orsillo Divine's passion for her work has also been recognized by the center's founder, Darcy Olson.
She brings to this organization the same can-do, must-win spirit that she brought to the games when she played at school. And in this case, it's about winning for the kids. And she just keeps that laser focus on what do we need to do to help them have the best lives possible.
Whether it's her accomplishments on the court or off it, Orsillo Divine has made her mark on the Valley.
I think, if you ask fans and staff and everybody, she left a legacy of being a star player, but even a better person.
In Phoenix, Sam Valenti, Cronkite News.
While community service may seem like a requirement to some, Orsillo saw it as an opportunity to make a change off the court. Now there's a name you might not be familiar with when it comes to Arizona State golf. While the team is on the course, their play and practices are documented for social media. Our Jack Pearson gives you an inside look at the former ASU student who helped grow the game of ASU golf online.
The Arizona State men's golf team has a guy you probably have never heard of. He looks like an ASU golfer, he dresses like one, he travels with the team. He's at every tournament, but you're not going to find him on any roster.
My name is Alex Gelman. I run the social media for the ASU golf team, Sun Devil Men's Golf, on Instagram.
It all started for Gelman as a reporter. He attended the Walter Cronkite School at Arizona State, pursuing a degree in sports journalism. There, his freshman year, he had the idea of covering ASU golf, as it was one of the few sports reporters had access to with COVID-19 restrictions.
First time I met Gelman was at this tournament, 3 or 4 years ago, and this kid comes up and, hey, can I get you for an interview? And he was so confident. I'm like, man, I love that confidence. And then I saw him again at the NCAA championship that year, and it was the same vibe. There was a lot of media there, and he was always first in line, making sure he got the first interview. And I'm like, that's cool. So we developed a relationship that summer. I said, man, I need to work with a guy like this. This is what we're looking for.
The work started that following golf season. Gelman took over the ASU men's golf Instagram account and quickly turned it into a professional level social media platform.
We're doing round highlights, play-by-play highlights during the round, interviews from coaches on the course, pictures from post-round, really everything that you would see from a professional PGA Tour account, we try to emulate.
Gelman has helped the team grow to over 65,000 followers, which is the most of any collegiate golf program. But what is done off the course is what goes unseen. This isn't a typical social media manager. Gelman is not only part of this team, he is part of the Sun Devil family.
Nobody comes into our little space. Like, it's a special bubble, the team. And after the first tournament, it's like, no, we want you with us. We want you in the van. We want you, the guys are like, I get the room with Gelman and at the meals, because he just brings that awesome energy.
Gosh, I love Gelman so much. He is one of the guys. I mean, it's always so much fun to have him out on the road when we play, because he's just a very fun guy to be around, keeps the mood extremely light.
Gelman has since graduated from Arizona State. He still is working with the team, however, providing them with content production, but he is also working on himself.
When you think of people making it to the PGA Tour, you think of golfers that are putting hours on the range and putting green with golf clubs, but for Gelman, there was another way.
I'm working right now as an independent contractor for the PGA Tour, running some of their social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's not all on site, a lot of it's remote, but it's a great opportunity for me to continue and start working in the professionals.
Sun Devil Golf has never had a position like the one Gelman made, and it worked. It worked well, and it created a family that will never be broken. In Tempe, Jack Pearson, Cronkite News.
Making an impact with the public can sometimes come from unexpected sources. With the help of Gelman, the ASU Golf Instagram page is just shy of 70,000 followers. Coming up next, a player on an Arizona high school baseball team who's making headlines for reasons you might not expect. Along with her brother Aiden, Chloe is finding her stride as the two of them head into the next season. McKendry beat out over 20 boys in tryouts to make the team. She plays club baseball at the Arizona All-Girls Peaches League in the off-season. McKendry is looking to inspire other girls to play the sport.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
And entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
Here at the TV Production and Graphics Lab, we are behind the scenes making the news happen. Gain experience in the control room directing, teledirecting, and rolling the audio of every Cronkite News show. Run the floor and work in a professional environment, honing your skills for the future. Create graphics that will be seen by the local community on Arizona PBS. Be a part of the bloodline that makes the Cronkite News shows possible.
Welcome to the State Press, ASU's student-run news organization that covers everything ASU. As one of the longest-standing student-run newsrooms in the country, the State Press offers a glimpse into a real newsroom environment. The State Press has been cited by organizations such as CNN, The Washington Post, MSNBC, and many more. Students gain valuable experience in reporting, editing, photography, and even podcasting. The State Press is home to some of ASU's hardest-working and most dedicated students, so feel free to join.
This is CN to Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN to Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
With 37 state championships, Sunnyside High School has a rich history when it comes to the wrestling program. Our Ana de la Cruz went down to Tucson to meet a unique member of the team.
With such a storied wrestling program, it is not easy to be the first to achieve something new at Sunnyside High School. But senior wrestler Audrey Jimenez was the first girl to win the boys' high school state championship. Jimenez grew up training with boys because girls' high school wrestling did not become a thing until 2020. She was allowed to wrestle against the boys at almost every level except the one that mattered the most, state.
The level that Audrey's at right now it's almost unsafe for her to be wrestling girls in Arizona. And that's no disrespect to anybody else.
Her coach, Anthony Leon, and Sunnyside High School's athletic director, Casey O'Brien, presented this case to the AIA in order for her to get the chance to earn her hardware.
I wasn't here to go to the appeal, and them going to that meeting and kind of speaking for me to wrestle the boys was huge because that's what I wanted to do, and they helped me fight for that, and they were my voice in that aspect, and yeah, I'm just super grateful.
Her team was all accepting of her making the move from girls to boys, nor do they go easier on her for being a girl.
I actually liked how they would go a little bit harder with me, and that helps me get better. So yeah, everybody was super accepting.
On and off the mat, Jimenez has very high expectations for herself.
She takes a lot of pride in everything she does. It shows in the way that she wrestles and her success there, but she is literally the exact same as a person and a student.
For Jimenez, the hardest part about choosing a university was not only looking at the wrestling program, but the academics as well. She's held a 4.4 GPA throughout her high school years and looks forward to majoring in engineering at Lehigh. She has made a big impact not only in the Tucson community, but all around the country. Her case now allows girls to wrestle boys at every level in high school. Jimenez lost in a best-of-3 U.S. Olympic trials to Sarah Hildebrandt to represent the U.S. at the 2024 Paris Olympics. She now looks forward to making the U.S. Olympic team for the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. In Tucson, Ana de la Cruz, Cronkite News.
Jimenez's story doesn't stop at Sunnyside High. She will be attending Lehigh University this fall, where she will continue her wrestling career. Another high school athlete here in Arizona is changing the game. The Horizon High School baseball team has won 7 state championships. And while they did not add an 8th title this year, the Huskies still made history. I had a chance to learn more about the first ever female player on the Huskies roster. Given the success of this program, tryouts are very competitive. But for Chloe McKendry, it was just another day as she made that baseball team alongside her twin brother, Aiden. McKendry is the first girl to try out for this team in over 20 years and the first one to make the roster and hit the mound.
I can hear some whispers and stuff when I first get there, but after my warm-up pitches and they see how I am, they don't really say anything else, and if they do, I don't listen.
With the vast competition this school brings in, making that freshman team is never a given. However, knowing her twin brother Aiden was trying out as well was comforting to Chloe, but of course added another layer of competition.
I woke up at 3 in the morning and I found out we made it, so I ran in Chloe's room and showed her yo, we made it, and it was awesome.
Playing together since they were children and being coached by their dad, Brian McKendry, made Chloe fall in love with the sport because it felt like family time. But as it got more serious and more competitive, Chloe found her own place within the diamond.
I think people just assume it's a boy, and then when they realize it's a girl, then I hear people get quieter and they whisper, and they're watching they want to see what's going to happen.
Admitting the notorious ponytail attracts the eye like a moth to a flame, Chloe only recently let it show.
I can always feel people looking at me, even when I'm not pitching. Even if I'm in the dugout, I can always feel eyes on me. I used to wear it up so you couldn't really see it, but now that I wear it down, that's the first thing people notice.
Now with the twins preparing for their sophomore year and seasons beyond, Chloe makes it a goal of hers to inspire girls to go after their athletic goals, even if it seems off limits. We will follow both of these young women as they continue their trailblazing path throughout the rest of their sports careers. After the break, an ASU student who uses her design skills to build a business by creating something special that athletes will cherish forever. Her shoes symbolize a part of clients' personal lives that are special to them. From players at ASU to presidents of the United States, Kenna Ritu's business sees new heights as more people see her designs.
Here at the TV Production and Graphics Lab, we are behind the scenes making the news happen. Gain experience in the control room directing, teledirecting, and rolling the audio of every Cronkite News show. Run the floor and work in a professional environment, honing your skills for the future. Create graphics that will be seen by the local community on Arizona PBS. Be a part of the bloodline that makes the Cronkite News shows possible.
This is CN2 Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN2 Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
Welcome to the State Press, ASU's student-run news organization that covers everything ASU. As one of the longest-standing student-run newsrooms in the country, the State Press offers a glimpse into a real newsroom environment. The State Press has been cited by organizations such as CNN, The Washington Post, MSNBC, and many more. Students gain valuable experience in reporting, editing, photography, and even podcasting. The State Press is home to some of ASU's hardest working and most dedicated students, so feel free to join.
It's no secret that athletes' shoes have become more popular than ever. When you think of what makes an athlete memorable, you usually think of the things like talent and hard work. But for some, you may also remember what shoes they wore. Our Danny Sullivan had the chance to sit down and take a look at the life of a shoe designer.
Everyone has that signature pair of shoes that helps define who they are. But when it comes to taking that pair of shoes to the next level, sneakerheads can turn to Valley native Kenna, who's also known as Kicks by Kenna.
I started this during COVID. As I said before, we have a joke going that during COVID people get a puppy and I got a business. But there was a trend going along on YouTube and I saw it and I was like, I really want to try this. I think it's going to be fun. And I did, and I found out I have a knack for it.
That knack has turned into quite the venture for Kenna, who is currently enrolled at Arizona State University. Her popular Instagram-run business, Kicks by Kenna, totals over 6,000 followers, thanks to a little assistance from her mom.
People just DM an order and we tell them the process, which we have all the clients ship the shoes to us. And then she goes ahead and does the design, and then when they're finished, we ship them back out. Usually there's a 2 to 3 week waiting period just because she is backed up with orders.
While Kicks by Kenna currently gets 15 to 20 custom orders per week, it didn't really become official until the first pair of shoes dropped.
It's such a cool thing to look at these shoes and know like they were the first pair that she had ever sold, and and now the people that she's doing shoes for are crazy, and it's so it's just really cool to be able to know that I did know it from the start.
Kicks by Kenna quickly drew the attention of former Sun Devil athletes Frankie Collins and Jalen Conyers, and what started as a business partnership has evolved into a lasting friendship.
She's gonna do my cleats again this year. I'm gonna mail her my shoes this year, so you maybe have a little bit of a hard time doing different colors, but it'll be cool. But like I said, me and her always been cool. I've always appreciate her for everything.
Now, while Kenna's shoes can be seen all over the world of sports, her talent reaches far beyond that. Her talent actually reaches all the way to the Oval Office, where President Joe Biden has his own custom pair.
I wanted his presidential crest on there, and then the White House, and then his dog. So they turned out super cool, and I got to send them out to him, and I got some cool pictures of that. And she managed to he sent me a letter with my name written on the top in his handwriting and his stamp at the bottom, and he signed it, and it was the coolest thing ever.
And it doesn't stop there. One day, her work might be in outer space with a future astronaut who wears his legacy on his shoes.
The first thing I see is, the home where I grew up, and I grew up in, in the Coalfield Projects, which is a very, it's a low income neighborhood. And I see the picture of the house that I sent her on the shoes. Then I see, a picture of the car I had sent her, which is my lowrider. It's a 1963 Impala, because my whole theme, my whole story is from the streets to the stars. And so for her to capture that narrative and that story on a pair of shoes, and made it look good. I mean, it was just amazing.
Kenna's work has made an undeniable impact on so many. While she's just scratching the surface of her potential, it's safe to say right now is a good time to be walking in Kenna's shoes. In Tempe, Danny Sullivan, Cronkite News.
Ritu won't stop making shoes anytime soon, as she will be attending the 2024 MLB All-Star Game this summer in Texas with other designers and artists as they display their works to the baseball world. That's it for tonight's edition of Game Changers. I'm Kalia Copper, and thank you for joining us. To see top Arizona stories anytime, log into cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Here at the TV Production and Graphics Lab, we are behind the scenes making the news happen. Gain experience in the control room directing, teledirecting, and rolling the audio of every Cronkite News show. Run the floor and work in a professional environment, honing your skills for the future. Create graphics that will be seen by the local community on Arizona PBS. Be a part of the bloodline that makes the Cronkite News shows possible.
This is CN to Go. I'm Emily Olson with your Wednesday news briefing.
Do you want to create innovative content for Cronkite News? Do you enjoy listening to podcasts? Then CN to Go is for you. Cronkite News to Go is a podcast where students cover the latest headlines. Students become audio producers and hosts and will learn how to write, record, and edit stories. You can listen to the latest episodes on these platforms.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
This is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
Against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news,
The bill also gives parents the ability to sue.
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.